Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to be making some cherry, lemon and coconut muffins. I saw this recipe on a site called mypastimes.com and it looks quite good, and it uses glacé cherries. I've got some of the sort of more dark glacé cherries. Usually they're a bit orangey red and very bright. These are darker. I had thought of using Morello cherries, glacé cherries, because I prefer the Morello flavour, but in any event I'll stick to these ordinary ones. And for the ingredients I have 375 grams of plain flour, 250 grams of caster sugar, you could use granulated, 400 millilitres of plain yogurt, 200 grams of glacé cherries chopped in half. I've actually kept some of them to one side to go on top. I have 125 grams of melted butter, 2 medium eggs, which would be large in the USA, a tablespoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of baking soda, and the zest of 1 lemon. I also have 3 tablespoons of lemon juice and 50 grams of caster sugar to make a syrup to go on the top. And I also have 50 grams of desiccated coconut. So the first thing I'm going to do is to mix the dry ingredients together. So that's the sugar and the flour and the coconut and the baking powder and baking soda, and then with a whisk I'm just going to mix those together. I'll just turn that over a bit with the spatula as well, just to get the flour off the bottom, the sugar off the bottom, and get that, make sure that's incorporated. And then I'll make a well in the centre of there and just set it to one side. So then I'm going to take the wet ingredients, which is the 400 millilitres of plain yogurt, the 2 eggs, and the melted butter, and into those as well I'm going to put the lemon zest, and then I'm going to just whisk those together to get them all incorporated. Now this will make about 12 large muffins and maybe about 18 normal sized or medium muffins. Okay, so that mixture is incorporated. So I'm simply going to pour that into the dry ingredients. I could have actually used a larger bowl by the look of it, but this will suffice. And then I'm just going to gently mix that together. We don't want to overmix when we're making muffins. Now I have my oven preheating at 200 Celsius, which is 400 Fahrenheit, 180 Celsius with a fan. And I have put muffin papers into a 12-hole muffin pan, and then I have some cardboard cups set aside that I can use once I've filled the muffin pan. So then I'm going to drop in the cherries, and I'm going to mix those to get those incorporated. And that's about it. So what I'm going to do next is to take the muffin tin and drop some mixture into each one, making sure, of course, that there's at least some cherry in each spoonful. Okay, so I've actually filled my muffin papers rather more than I intended to at the outset, but that's fine. So I have 12 of those, and I have 2 paper cardboard cups. Then I'm just going to put half a cherry on the top of each muffin, and then I'm going to put them in the oven and bake them for about 25 minutes. And while they're baking, I'm going to put the lemon juice and the 50 grams of sugar onto the heat and dissolve the sugar, and then bring the juice to the boil, stir it for a minute or two, then take it off, and that will be the syrup which I will brush over the muffins when they come out of the oven. So the next thing to do is to put these into the oven, bake them for 25 minutes, and then I'll be back with you to show you them as they've come out of the oven and they're still warm, and then we'll brush them with the lemon syrup. Okay, so I'm back with you, and the muffins have come out of the oven. Now, as they were baking, the cherry that I put on top in some instances was covered by the batter as it rose, so I very quickly cut up some more and put another cherry on the top of some of them, just so that we have a cherry on top of each one. So I've got them out of the oven, they're cooling down, and I melted my lemon juice with my sugar, and with a brush I'm just going to brush them on top with the syrup. Now I have this cooling rack standing on a baking tray to catch any excess drips. And that's it for this part. I'm going to let those cool down completely, then I'll come back and we'll have a taste of one. Okay, well, I've let the muffins cool down and they're fairly cool now. So what I'm going to do is just take one and open it up. And just have a bite of it. That is so nice. It's lovely and soft, and with the three flavours, the lemon on the top and the zest inside, with the coconut and the cherries, very good indeed. And so easy to make. That's the beauty of muffins, very, very easy. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below the video and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. There'll be a in the top right hand corner, there'll be an eye that you can click on. That will take you to the recipe, or you can click a link below the video to get to the recipe. And I will be back with you with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.